This is The Point, the education podcast from the Port of Long Beach. I'm your host, Alejandra Huitron, the Port's Manager of Workforce Development.
And I'm Jeff Forney, the Port's Community Relations Officer. The Point is your update on the Port's many education initiatives. And this time, we're talking high school internships.
We're going to tell you what you need to know about getting hands-on experience while exploring Port careers and getting paid for it.
I'll be talking to former high school intern Elijah Bajet about his experience working and learning at the Port.
But first, let's go to my conversation with Anthony Pelasasa. He's a member of our government relations team, and he gave me a quick rundown on the Port's summer high school internship program. Thanks for joining us today. With me is Anthony Pelasasa, Workforce Development Specialist here at the Port of Long Beach. And Anthony runs the Port's summer high school internship program. So Anthony, thanks for joining me today.
Yes, I'm happy to be here, Alejandra. Thank you very much for having me.
Can you tell our audience what the summer high school internship program is about and who can apply?
The Port of Long Beach's Summer High School Internship Program is a 6-week paid internship program for the students in the Long Beach Unified School District area. And throughout this program, these students are able to experience very hands-on projects or learning a little bit more about the opportunities that the Port has from environmental, communications, government relations, engineering, construction management, and so much more.
What grades qualify to apply for the internship?
So for the summer high school internship program, we are accepting juniors and seniors. And that opportunity for these students to get a paid internship program for an establishment like the Port of Long Beach looks really good on the resume when applying to schools and jobs.
So from my understanding is that the class of 2026 has already been selected. So congratulations to those current juniors and seniors that will be joining the Port's internship program this summer. But for those that are current sophomores and juniors, it's never too early to start prepping for next year's application. So Anthony, when does that application open up?
So the 2027 application opens up in January, and I'm glad that we're able to host juniors and seniors because we do have freshmen and sophomores that are interested in this program, but because it is an annual program and has been for many years, they can look forward to it when that time comes.
So if they apply their junior year and don't get selected, can they reapply again their senior year?
Yes, that is correct.
Wonderful. This program, again, is a 6-week program. I know that they're here Monday through Thursday. Can you tell us a little bit about what the schedule looks like? What do they look forward to doing while they're here?
Yeah, definitely. So with the 30 students, Monday through Wednesday, they're able to be with their mentors in their specific divisions across the PAB, the JCCC, which is our security facility, Joint Command and Control Center, along with our maintenance facility. And the students are able to get hands-on experience and projects, real-world projects throughout their time. Then when comes Thursday, that's when I'm able to host the students for soft skill training, for field trips, to be able to learn a little bit more again about the opportunities that are about this industry.
What are some of the field trips that these students get to go on?
So some of the field trips this year, I'm very excited to announce that we're visiting the Thumbs Oil Islands to understand the logistics and everything that goes behind that. And then we also have the SoFi Stadium as well. We are going to be really understanding the logistics that go behind all the events that happen at such a venue like that. Another very exciting field trip that we're going to be participating in is IBEW's training facility. These students are able to learn a little bit more on that side of the ports. And with that too, we do have a harbor tour for the students to learn more on the port itself.
Wonderful. And from my understanding, you also visit some of our port terminals, including Long Beach Container Terminal, which is one of the most technologically advanced terminals in the world. So that's very, very exciting. These students really do get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A little bit of history here. Anthony was actually a college intern here at the Port of Long Beach, and Anthony has now been working here for over 9 years. So he ended up getting picked up full-time and now works and helps to run some of our workforce development programs. But Anthony, you having experienced this firsthand, what are some of the things that you feel internships really help students out with, and how do they benefit students?
Yeah, so a little history on myself. I started here at the Port of Long Beach back in 2017 as a college intern. So I was a part of the 2-year internship. I started back in 2017 in communications under Mario Gonzalez. And from there, I was blessed for the opportunity to become full-time. But in regards to, what really makes an internship just a great experience overall is guidance. And with that professional guidance, I was able to grow not only, through maturity, but also professionally. And I thought that was very key to making this internship successful, which is why I was able to become full time. And with that too, being able to have great coaches like Mario Gonzalez and also Alejandra Guitron. She was also one of the bosses at the time, and I'm still very happy and blessed to be able to work under her in workforce development after all these years.
Yeah, and it's so exciting to see people grow. When we get our interns here the first day, they're so nervous, right? And so when we see them the day of graduation, what's some of the things that really stand out to you on the last day that we have them here?
The growth, that's just plainly said. The mentors that are participating in the summer high school internship are very passionate in helping these students find their path. My goal is to lead these students to what they're interested in. And I think that is really where the passion comes from and why I'm still in this field of education.
One thing to also know is these students are really immersed into day-to-day operations here at the port. So they're not just, sitting there filing, doing nothing. What are some of the things that you see on a day-to-day basis that they do under the leadership of their mentors?
I always tell students that this is not a coffee internship. And they always ask, what is that? It's not an internship where we ask the interns to go grab coffee or print out paperwork or what have you. So this is a very hands-on, real-world experience of an internship. And one of the key highlights that I remember from my time, or at least seeing for the high school internship, is when the new bridge was being built, Long Beach International Gateway Bridge. I very vividly remember the summer high school internship interns were actually participating in some projects for that bridge itself. That bridge alone is a $1.4, $1.5 billion project. And obviously it's to the scale of being an intern, a high school intern, for the small amount of time that they're here. But the fact that they're able to participate in any way, shape, and form with a project like that is key, and they could add that to their resume and add that to what brings their passion, and to be able to use that for a career, a future career.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anthony, for coming out and talking to us a little bit about the summer high school internship program. As we mentioned, the class of 2026 has already been selected. But for those of you that are current high school students, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, next year is an opportunity for you to start prepping for that application. We look forward to hosting you here, and the applications open up January of 2027.
Correct.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And just a reminder, you can learn more about the Port's internship program by going to our website, polb.com/community/education. Then just click on internships.
Now let's hear from Elijah Bajette, former high school intern here at the Port of Long Beach.
Hey Elijah, it's great to see you again. It's been almost a year now. What have you been up to these days?
Thank you, Jeff. Good to see you again too. It's been a long time. Right now, well, I'm a senior, almost to graduation finally, which will be nice to be done with high school. Yeah, move on to summer break and then college. Right now, I'm with the City of Long Beach on the Youth Advisory Council, so that's been pretty cool. And then in the fall, I'm going to go to Pepperdine, get a political science degree.
Okay. All right.
Probably do some stuff similar to what I did with the Port in public advocacy and community relations.
That's awesome. Question for you. When you first applied as a high school student for the internships, what apprehensions did you have? Like, did you know much about the Port when you applied?
When I was applying to the internship for the first time, I kind of had two main apprehensions. The first was having an internship in general. The Port is a major organization here in Long Beach. This is not some kind of dinky thing. This is an established program. So wondering how I was going to fit in with the culture here and how everything there would work, especially because this is kind of in the public service sector. And then I think the second thing was I didn't know that much about the Port in general. I mean, I'd seen the banners that we have hanging from our light poles, stuff like that. I knew our slogan, Port of Choice, Green Port. But in terms of depth of knowledge, there's definitely a lot of studying that I had to do beforehand. So yeah, I think probably that kind of knowledge gap, and then just a little bit of trepidation about how to fit into the culture here.
When you took the job and got into the job, what was something that surprised you in the beginning when you first came on board?
Well, one thing that surprised me was really honestly how fun it was. You think of a port, you kind of think of something super industrial and not this like welcoming experience exactly, but everyone on the staff was so welcoming and so kind and wanted us to actually have a really good time as interns. They gave us fun assignments, let us sit in on things that were truly enjoyable, meet important people. I remember we had a lot of really great field trips. We went to the Toyota factory and saw how they were finishing all the cars there. We really felt called into the whole system. I don't know if that was how it was for every floor, but certainly on the 10th floor communications division, felt like family.
Sure. So going back to that part of it where you said you had a lot of fun, What was something that surprised you going out into the community? Because obviously we do a lot in the community, and you got to experience a lot of it during your time. How did you feel when you were out in the community working with the team, kind of sharing the message of what the port is?
Number one was how positive everyone thought about the port. It seemed like everybody knew about us, knew about the commitment to education and scholarships and well-paying jobs, and even how environmental it was. I think I was also really touched to see, both at these events and in private conversations with my mentors, how much genuine, authentic care there was for the community. I felt like behind closed doors, people were just as welcoming and interested in the public need as they were at events. So, something that Anthony or Veronica would say about the port, about our green promises to someone at a table at, a concert in the park, it was completely genuine as the conversations we had behind closed doors.
That experience, what did it do for your outlook on the future? Did it change how you thought? Did it expand your vision of what you wanted to do when you get older and go through your career path?
Absolutely. So I mentioned it before, but I'm going to go to Pepperdine University, get a degree in political science, and then a minor in leadership and rhetoric. And those are all things that I would say are directly attributable to my time here at the port. I hadn't had the opportunity to be a part of a public institution and really go interact one-on-one with the public. And so going to events and being a representative of the port really confirmed that desire and showed me this is actually something I love, this is something I want to do in my life. And then when we come back to the office, the work that we did here, writing press releases, putting speeches up on teleprompters, interacting with people who are super important globally, that also showed me that the work as well as the commitment to the community are things that I'm truly drawn to and want to do for the rest of my life. So I think the port played a very important role in confirming the path that I want to take moving forward.
That's great to hear. And you'll be able to implement that in your career as you move forward in places that you go and work, and maybe even here at the port.
Oh, absolutely. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful in that.
What is something you could leave for those high school students that are looking to do a internship with the port or another organization? What's some words of wisdom, that one or two things that they should take away from it?
I think don't be afraid to ask for things to do. One of the lessons I learned early on when you're an intern is there is a certain amount that your mentors or supervisors are going to ask you to do, but you're going to have large parts of the day where there's not actually so much for you to do. But the way you get the most out of an internship like this is asking people, hey, can I come to this event? Hey, you're filming this, can I sit in on it? Is there something that I can do here? Because that's when you begin to build real connections and real bonds and become an actually important and integral part of an organization like the port. So yeah, that would be my word of advice is your experience here is what you make of it. We've got the field trips, we've got the assignments that our mentors give us, but a lot of it is up to how much commitment we as students and interns want to put into it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Great advice. What's one thing that you would say you would want to change
One thing
for the internship that you went through?
So I can only speak for the communications division, but we had a requirement over the 6 weeks to go to 2 events. I think I would increase that. I think the events that I went to, and I think I went to 3, I asked to go to an extra one, were probably the most impactful part of my time at the port. I think on the whole, maybe I would advocate for extending the program. 6 weeks was a good amount of time, but I think the benefits of being an intern would have been even larger if it had been longer. Okay. So maybe extending it.
So Elijah, one of the things that we talked when I first met you here was originally you wanted to go into politics before you did the internship here. But then you said working here kind of changed your thoughts and it expanded what you might have wanted to do when you eventually get out of college and move on into your career. Could you expand on that a little bit about kind of how that affected you working here and kind of led you down a path that you're going now?
So I think one of the ways the port refocused my career objectives was definitely seeing how we interacted with the public. When I came into our internship, I really wanted to run for office. Like that was my number one thing. Partly because, when you're running for office, you're interacting with all these people, you're going to events, there's a million handshakes, you're kind of the center of attention and you manage to make these connections on a personal level with so many people. And I kind of thought that was something you can only do if you're sort of the main event. I thought, I have to be someone important to have my job be like that. But what I realized after working here is when you're a part of a large organization and an organization that genuinely cares about the community around it, there are so many more opportunities where you don't have to be a congressman to go out and be at an event and help people and say, here's how my organization can help you and make our community better. And so, sure, I still enjoy politics. I would love to work in the public sector, but it's completely refocused my ambition away from, let me have this important role so I can do this, versus let me find a role where I can be caring for my community and out there serving the public directly in an organization like this. And so I think that's really impactful because it expands so many more opportunities where you don't have to be the number one important person to do it. You can do it anywhere.
Thanks again to Anthony and Elijah for taking the time to come on the show.
Now let's mention some important dates. For those of you that are interested in applying for a summer high school internship program, the applications open up in January, right after winter break.
And now to your obligatory port fact. Did you know the Port of Long Beach started 2026 as the #1 port in the country?
That means our port moved nearly 2.4 million containers already this year. Those are the boxes you might see on trucks marked Costco, China Shipping, Maersk, or ONE, also known as ONE.
That's a lot of stuff. And make sure you go to polb.com/education to learn more and stay tuned for the next episode of The Point.